I have the pleasure to introduce Ms. Kate Thomas, Worthy Advisor of Fidelity Assembly number 242.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce this afternoon's installation officers. Mrs. Susan Lucky, Mother Advisor. Hostess, Mrs. Lisa Giosi, Past Grand Religion. Installing Chaplain, Kate Thomas, Worthy Advisor of Fidelity Assembly. Sister Marshall, you will retire and escort the officers elected and appointed into the assembly room.
Advisor. Welcome everyone today. The Lion King movie has multiple themes in it. Today's theme obviously is Hakuna Matata. One of their themes also is the circle of life. In it, Simba learns from his father his place in the circle of life. In Rainbow, we too are part of that circle. We do this in friendships we make that connect us socially. Many friendships made in the early years are strong enough to move forward throughout our lives. Ask any adult who was once a part of Rainbow about the friendships they have from those early years. The greatest gift that Rainbow gives to us, each of its members, are vital life skills. It is here that an 11-year-old begins to memorize speeches and present them to their peers. Though at first she might be shy and struggle, she will find support and encouragement to try again and again until she finds confidence in speaking. Here, a girl gets to learn and introduced to responsibility among her peers. She might be asked to chair a fundraising dinner. She must decide the details of the event. She will ask people to help her. She'll set a goal on how much money she wants to raise in that event. She will rely on her peers to follow through when she asks them to do something to make this event possible. She will inevitably make mistakes in the safest environment, but in the end, she will have success because she planned the event, got to do the event, and because of that, she will feel the ultimate accomplishments. She will be proud of herself. Every office that each of these girls hold brings a new responsibility to learn and master one day over their years in Rainbow. Along with adult support from both parents and the advisory board, from the treasurer, where they learn about checking accounts and how to balance it, or just the daily needs of keeping a calendar as a Rainbow girl. These are all a part of the responsibilities they learn and life skills they get to have. Parents, your support here is vital to your child's growth in the tasks and accomplishments that they may have. Understanding that yes, we do have a lot of fun. We travel, we play, we serve our community, we fundraise for charity, but we are learning many life skills along the way. Your presence in each and every girl's life, both here and obviously at home, allows all of those life skills to foster and prosper. As an adult of the advisory board, I have made a commitment to assisting those girls here learning those life skills. This year, we'll also be learning about sewing and cooking. I'm excited to be a part of Rainbow's circle of life, to see each of these young ladies blossom and grow into confident young women. Thank you.
For the advisors, please stand for introduction. I have the pleasure to introduce Holly Winter of San Bernardino Assembly, number 223. You'll greet her with a warm welcome. And I'm sorry, Rebecca Chavez of San Buenaventura. You'll greet her with a warm welcome. Will the Rainbow Girls please stand for introduction? Since I do not have the pleasure of knowing your names, will you please give your names in assemblies?
Evelyn Woodens Talker, San Fernando Assembly. Elizabeth Woodens Talker, San Fernando Assembly.
Thank you very, very much for coming. Will the Grand Deputies please stand for introduction? I have the honor to introduce Mrs. Mary Ann John, Area Grand Deputy, and past State Mother Advisor of the Mesmerizing Mustangs of 2013, and Mrs. Beverly Freed, Area Grand Deputy, and past Mother Advisor of the 2011. You will greet them with great honor.
Thank you very much.
Will the past Mother Advisors please stand for introduction? I have the pleasure to introduce Mrs. Ryan Lotspeech of San Buenaventura Assembly number 107. We will greet her with a warm welcome. Sister Marshall. All others entitled to escort and not previously introduced will please stand for self-introduction.
Anna Carvalho, past Grand Immortality 2005.
Sister Marshall, you will escort the rainbow flag into the assembly room. officers. By authority vested in me as installing officer of Assembly number 242, or number 107, I declare the assembly open for installation. Sister Chaplain, you will attend the altar. Sister Reporter, you will call the names of the officers elected and appointed to fill the stations of this assembly for the ensuing term.
Worthy advisor, Ms. Natasha Howard.
Sister Marshall, you will escort each of these sisters, as her name is called, back at the color stations facing the east.
Worthy advisor, Ms. Natasha Howard. Worthy associate advisor, Ms. Segura Akamura. Faith, Ms. Hallie Talbot. Drill leader, Ms. Patty Cornell. And Matrix, Ms. Molly Cooper.
As no one should set forth on any great or important work without the assistance of prayer, the assembly will please stand without a head while the chapel leads us in prayer. Our Father, let thy riches Our Father, let thy richest blessing rest upon the officers and members of this assembly. Bless those who are about to assume the responsibilities of their office. Help them to know. May the importance of the position they are to occupy. May the importance of the service they are about to render be firmly impressed upon their minds. Help them to know as leaders. The eyes of all in the assembly are upon them, and grant to them that beauty of life which will make them an inspiration to us all. May the members of this assembly be true and loyal to them, and help them in any way within their power to make their and may the members of this assembly do gladly and cheerfully the work the assembly may have for them to do. May we not forget our lesson in service, and may this ensuing term, under the leadership of those selected, be our greatest period of service. And in the Master's name, we shall give thee praise forever. In the Master's name, amen.
Lord, help us to keep our promise.
Sister Marshall, you will present the worthy advisor-elect before the altar for installation.
Installing officers, I present Natasha Howard, who has been elected worthy advisor of this assembly for the ensuing term.
My sister, you have been elected worthy advisor of this assembly. Yet before you can assume the responsibility of this high office, I shall exact from you certain pledges. Do you believe in the existence of one true and living God?
I do.
Do you believe you should be careful in the selection of members?
I do.
Do you recognize the authority of the Supreme Assembly and agree that during your administration as worthy advisor, you will, to the best of your ability, be true and loyal to its Constitution
and the honor guard. Forward, clerk. Honor guard, hold. Word, face. Present, sword.
Well, I've never seen a king or priest with quite so little hair.
Members, Assembly number 107. You have heard the pledges the already advisor has made the altar. Do you agree to behold her needs, to be true and loyal, and help her in any way within your power to make her term profitable and pleasant?
We do.
Sister Worthy Advisor, behold the members of your assembly. Members of the assembly, behold your worthy advisor and salute her with grand honors.
Carry, swords. Westward, face. Forward, march.
Sister Marshall, you will present the worthy associate advisor-elect before the altar for installation.
Installing officer, I present Sakura Akamura has been elected worthy associate advisor of this assembly for the ensuing term.
My sister, in electing you as worthy associate advisor, because of your interest and devotion to this assembly, you have been elected to serve as worthy associate advisor. The responsibilities of this office are great. You not only serve the assembly in the absence of the worthy advisor, but you should also be constantly preparing yourself to assume the regular duties of that office. Cooperate with the worthy advisor, for you are her chief officer. Guard well your life's pattern, that it may reflect the lessons of the great white light which rests on the altar in this assembly. Turn to our supreme being in times of stress and when your judgment is limited by mortal boundaries. In him, you will find inexhaustible supplies of strength and wisdom. Sister Marshall, you will invest our sister with the jewel of her office. My sister, the jewel of your office is a cross gables. It is a symbol that the power entrusted in your hands is second only to that of the worthy advisor. Sister Marshall, you will conduct our sister to her station in the west.
Installing officer, I present Hallie Talbot, who has been elected face of this assembly for the ensuing term.
My sister, in electing you to serve as faith, your assembly has placed the utmost trust, the utmost confidence in you. You not only receive the candidate, but you make the first impression on her. It is said that first impressions are lasting, so guard well her reception, observing at all times decorum and dignity, so that the impression you make is not only pleasing, but will also be indelibly stamped upon the mind of the candidate, that she may ever remember our beautiful order. Remember, my sister, that in this life we are constantly groping in the dark, and without the firm guiding hand of faith, Sister Marshall, you will invest our sister with the jewel of her office. of graceful leadership, and so conduct yourself in your floor work that you may inspire the membership with its dignity and beauty. It is your duty to conduct the candidate to the door of the preparation room. Let me admonish you to meet her in a way that will impress upon her the sacredness of the ceremony of which she is about to enter. Always keep in mind the duties of your office, that you may guide your sisters into the higher way. Sister Marshall, you will invest your sister with the jewel of her office. My sister, the jewel of your office is the spear. It represents a life that is directed daily by the greater and the better and higher ideals. Sister Marshall, you will conduct our sister to her station. Sister Marshall, you will present the Sister of Nature before the altar for installation.
Installing officer, I present Molly Coker, Nature, of this assembly for the ensuing term.
My sister, you are familiar with the lessons taught in the assembly at the color stations, and you no doubt realize the importance of the position you are to occupy in our initiatory work. The proper understanding of your lecture and the proper presentation of it will produce that harmony and beauty which is symbolized in this assembly by the Holy Bible. You represent a color, and for the time being are entrusted with the keeping of it. We hope you will regard this honor and trust as one of the most important that this assembly can give to you. Sister Marshall, you will invest our sister with the color, with the jewel of her office. Sister of Nature, the jewel of your office is a color bar of yellow and is a symbol of the beauty of God's great outdoors. Sister Marshall, you will conduct our sisters to her station.
You will present the Mother Advisor before the altar for installation.
Installing officer, I present Candy Remington, who has been elected Mother Advisor of this assembly for the ensuing year.
Mrs. Remington, you have been selected by the advisory board of this assembly to serve as Mother Advisor to these girls. This honor has been conferred upon you for two reasons. First, to recognize the interest that you show in the girlhood of your community, thus recommending you as one fitted for a leader. Second, because they believe you to be one to whom the girls can come to and pour out their hearts most freely, feeling assured that you will give them motherly counsel and help them solve their problems. The idea of creating this office was not to select someone who would rule with an iron hand, but rather one who would inspire the confidence of the girls and by whose own life they would receive inspiration and help. You are what your office indicates. You are an advisor. There may be girls in this assembly who are not so fortunate in this life to have the advice and counsel of a mother. You are to be to these girls a mother. They no doubt will come to you many, many times, and with that same kindness and gentleness that would characterize the real mother, we sincerely trust that you will, to the very best of your ability, fill that place. You will have the opportunity of helping many, many girls, and you have been selected in order to be such a mother to them. Sister Marshall, you will invest the Mother Advisor with the jewel of her office. Mrs. Remington, the jewel of your office is a circle of gold. It represents a life that encircles other lives and denotes protection. Sister Marshall, you will conduct the Mother Advisor to the east, at the left of the worthy advisor. Members of San Buenaventura Assembly, I take a great deal of pleasure in presenting to you Mrs. Remington, who has been selected by the advisory board to be your mother advisor. I counsel all of you to seek her out many, many times and to advise with her when things do not go exactly as you think they should. The Assembly will now salute the mother advisor with grand honors. Thank you.
Sister Marshall, you will present the flag at the altar. You will join with me in giving the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us stand for a moment with bowed heads in the presence of the flag of our country. Our flag is a symbol of our civilization, for which countless thousands have laid down their lives on the field of battle. Members of our own household have followed it across the sea to the uttermost parts of the earth. And wherever it has gone, it has been a symbol of the liberty of the individual that stands for the very highest of human attainment. Let us never dishonor this most precious flag, but let us make it and the lessons of patriotism, which are found in the lessons of our own religion, be the very soul of this assembly.
Installing officer, I present Susan Lucky, Dave Gomez, Brian Howard, and myself, Lissa Giosi, advisory board for the ensuing year. Oh, and Cammie Remington, advisory board for this assembly for the ensuing year.
Members of the advisory board, now is your opportunity, by your own example, to assist in the molding of the character of the girlhood in your community. These girls are looking to you to not only guide their footsteps, but to direct their lives into righteous paths. We therefore admonish you never to take a step that you would not have them follow. Guard the welfare of our girls cautiously and advise with them in all things necessary. May you carry with you always the thought that someone is looking to you. Greet them with a warm welcome.
Sisters and brothers, you have witnessed the installation service of San Buenaventura Assembly number 107. You're reminded of the fact that in all institutions, it becomes necessary for some to lead and direct their affairs for some time being, and some others to follow under their leadership and guidance. Those who are privileged in this life to lead for a while assume a great responsibility, and we sincerely hope that the officers of this assembly will dedicate their time and their talents in the hope that they will do its work well. May the members of the assembly rededicate themselves anew to a life of service. May they be happy together, and may they prosper under your leadership. Sister Marshall, you will proclaim the officers of the San Buenaventura Assembly number 107 regularly installed.
By the authority of the Supreme Assembly of the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls, I declare San Buenaventura Assembly number 107 regularly installed.
Personally, Hakuna Matata was the most memorable phrase out of the entire Lion King movie. To me, I am a very stressed out person, and even if it's the slightest little thing, I will find myself in a state of stress and disarray. So the idea of a worry-free lifestyle has always been appealing. Like Simba found his worry-free lifestyle through Timon and Pumbaa, I think I found mine through Rainbow. When I can recall many times over, when we would have a presentation in class, and I would worry myself to death over it. I would even come to tears in class when I was told that I had to go up and talk to the entire class about something. But I can proudly say that I am one of the first people to volunteer to do a presentation, or even just in a group project, to be the one to say, I will go up and I will talk for the group. And Rainbow hasn't just taught me how to give presentations, it's taught me how to plan events, or even give phone calls to the girls and their parents before meetings and other big events. And before, these things seemed impossible to me, but through Rainbow, I have found a way that I can do it without that much stress. So I hope that you find your worry-free lifestyle, whether it be through Rainbow or some other organization, Masonic or not, or through a meerkat and a warthog in the form of song. Thank you.
Mr. Howard. Hello, would you like to roar like a lion for us?
Winner here.
June of 1990, when I was actually installed as master counselor of Wantaw chapter in New York. This was also the same gavel that I used in 92-93 when I was a state master counselor in New York. So for this term, someone's going to be using it while she's worthy advisor.
Thank you. So, I'm going to test this out. Didn't seem to work. All right, let's try it one more time. There we go. All right, awesome. Nice and loud. There's a
Yeah, I got the whole
pin.
thing. I got the whole thing here. Well, I do want to talk real fast because Susan left a great legacy of really being a great mother advisor. And, well, she has. You've done a great thing. So, and I was thinking about putting the past mother advisor pin of hers on a ribbon. And so, because it's easier to pin it on, and I just wanted to say the reason why we have this ribbon here. It's blue. And she knows why it's blue. And she knows it's because I love her. But the pin is green. And that's because you know who else loves you. Anyway, you've done a great job, and I don't know how I'm ever going to follow in your footsteps. Really long sticker there. All right.
Thank you. Well, also, I get to pass my pin to our new mother advisor, who has so much enthusiasm and has already started working with the girls, and I love her. And so do I. I've known Candy for many, 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 many years, and she's not new to this at all. Both of her daughters were Rainbow Girls here, and I am so looking forward to spending time not as the leader, but as being around and being able to help. And I know, Candy, you're going to do an awesome job. So here we go. I'm going to try not to pin you. Not to pin you. All right. So here we go.
This is her pass for the advisor pin. I think you've earned it a couple times. So this is your pass for the advisor pin. Yeah, I just want to look here.
It's kind of hard to open.
Well, yeah. You know, but I'm really good at it. Be careful with this pen. Oh, that's not going to work. The pen is really long. Yeah, I don't want to destroy your knee. Did I get you? Okay, I got you. You're in there. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but there's your pass for the advisor pin. Wear it, have a good time with it. It's brown because it's the African safari.
It's
Cool.
cool.
That was the whole thing.
All right.
No, I just wanted to thank, again, everybody for coming. There's refreshments downstairs, and it's just really great to see everybody out to support the girls. When you actually have your presence here, it's more like you're showing them that you support what they're doing, not just telling them. And as we all know, actions speak louder than words. So because you're here, your action says that you're here, and it's better than saying, I support you. You're actually showing them. Thank you.
Retiring march.
Heavenly Father, up above, help me live the words I love. Help my rainbow dreams come true in everything I say and do. Bless those who have faith in me, that the girl they want is the girl I'll be. And when the sunset ends the day, our living rainbow guide the way. Amen.